For years, your dog has ended every day exactly the same way, curled up at the foot of your bed, or perhaps right on your pillow. It is a deeply ingrained routine, a physical closeness that defines the rhythm of your bond. Then, one night, the routine breaks. They walk past the mattress and drop their weight heavily onto the cold, hard floor. It is easy to dismiss this. You assume the room is too warm, the blankets are too thick, or they have simply developed a new, eccentric preference for the hardwood. That assumption reveals a blind spot in how we monitor our pets. We expect dogs to communicate their discomfort in a language we intuitively understand. We wait for an obvious, undeniable physical symptom to prompt a trip to the vet. We look for a pronounced limp during a walk, a sharp yelp when they jump, or a lingering whine. Biology dictates otherwise. By the time an animal openly broadcasts physical trauma through a limp or a cry, the underlying illness or joint deterioration has already reached an advanced, highly painful stage. Relying exclusively on those visible physical cues creates a dangerous delay in care. That quiet retreat to the floor is an early, urgent alarm ringing right next to you, entirely unheeded. Dogs are absolute creatures of habit. Their psychological security relies entirely on maintaining predictable daily routines. A high-value location, like a familiar, soft mattress, holds immense importance. Breaking the instinct to sleep there requires a powerful biological override. Veterinary researchers identify this abrupt change in resting location as a primary early behavioral indicator of hidden physical trauma. This Victor schematic shows exactly why. When a dog lies on a soft, sinking surface, their weight distributes unevenly, pulling and straining inflamed joints. A rigid, flat floor provides immediate biomechanical stability, eliminating that agonizing pressure. The dog is also anticipating the massive spike in force required to eventually jump down from the elevated bed. Choosing the floor eliminates that impending impact entirely. This adjustment occurs weeks, sometimes months, before the joint deterioration becomes severe enough to produce a visible limp on a walk. Clinicians classify this specific action as mitigation behavior. The animal is actively managing their pain in secret, doing everything possible to avoid expressing vulnerability openly. The move to the floor is a calculated biomechanical strategy. They are enduring chronic physical pain in total silence. In senior dogs, this same action points toward a different system failure. The joints may be fine, but the neurology is failing. It points directly to canine cognitive dysfunction, the biological equivalent of human dementia. This floor plan maps a healthy dog's spatial awareness, showing a direct path from the doorway to their designated resting spot. At night, canine cognitive dysfunction severs that orientation. The dog physically forgets how to navigate the room or fails to recognize the mattress entirely. They are not seeking out a firmer surface to relieve aching hips. They are completely lost, pacing until they exhaust themselves and collapse wherever they happen to be standing. Veterinary researchers consistently track these disrupted sleep routines and location changes as the single most reliable early clinical marker for cognitive decline. For an older dog, that sudden empty space on the mattress is a clear indicator of profound neurological unraveling. Everyday nap locations demand a closer look. We have to analyze these small daily habits through a clinical diagnostic lens. A sleeping routine is an active vital sign. It requires the same level of monitoring as a resting heart rate or an internal body temperature. Waiting for obvious lameness or vocal cries forces veterinarians to treat trauma that is already entrenched. Proactive observation catches the deterioration before it peaks. If a dog has enthusiastically slept in your bed for years and abruptly chooses the floor, schedule a veterinarian appointment immediately. Acting on this specific behavioral stage is exactly what allows medical professionals to prescribe joint management protocols or slow the progression of cognitive decline before the damage becomes irreversible. The human-animal bond carries an inherent frustration. They cannot tell us where it hurts. But intervening early doesn't require learning to speak their language. It only requires knowing how to read their routine.